Good morning, everyone.
Buenos
Just
días.
wanted to get your attention there. I know we're good now, right? All right.
Buenos días.
I got the thumbs up. If everyone could please have a seat, we'll begin the program. So, good morning once again. It's really terrific to see you all. A huge welcome to the Senior Inspiration Awards. It's so terrific to see some of you that I haven't seen in a while here celebrating an event that means a lot to me and really to so much to everyone here. My name is Brooke Berry. I'm an Emmy Award-winning journalist and government communicator, and I will be one of your MCs for the event today.
And I'm Marco Revuelta, multimedia journalist with Noticias, Telemundo 15, Palm Springs, and KSQ, and we will be your host this afternoon. The Senior Inspiration Awards was started 31 years ago. It was first held in 1992, thanks to then Riverside County Supervisor Patricia Corky Larson and Palm Desert Mayor Gene Benson. The event was continued by Supervisor Roy Wilson, Supervisor Jay Benoit, and continues with our host, Supervisor V. Manuel Perez.
For more than 3 decades, this event has served to recognize some of the most outstanding citizens of the Coachella Valley and even as far east as Blythe. They give their time, their talent, and their spirit to their community. And this year, we are honoring 11 individuals for their efforts. First, Reverend Ramon Flores will give us an inspirational message.
Muy buenos días.
Buenos días.
Good morning. I invite everyone to join me in prayer. Les invito a unirse a mí en esta oración. Loving God, Dios de amor, we thank you and praise you for all the blessings you have bestowed on our brothers and sisters that we are honoring today. In each of them, we can recognize, we can see your holy presence. For this and for every blessing, we glorify you, O God, who love the human race and who always walk with us on the journey of life. Keep us attentive to the needs of our seniors that sharing their grief and pain, their joy and hope, we may faithfully walk with them and share with them the good news of your love and mercy and go forward with them along the way of your kingdom. Bendice, Padre, las vidas de estos hijos e hijas tuyos que generosamente comparten sus dones y talentos para el bien de la comunidad. Concédeles el regalo del amor y la paz en sus vidas, que cada día puedan experimentar el regalo de tu amistad hasta que los llames a contemplarte cara a cara. Open our eyes to the needs of our brothers and sisters from all races and tongues. Inspire in us works and actions to comfort those who labor and are burdened, and those who feel lonely and abandoned. Make us serve them truly after the example of Christ and at his command. Gracias, Señor, por estar en medio de nosotros. Amén.
Thank you for your message. I ask that you please stand for the presentation and posting of colors by the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 3699 in Indio. Colors?
Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance is Cathedral City Mayor and Senior Inspiration Awards Vice Chair Rita Lamb.
In gratitude for all that we have here in the United States, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you.
Please be seated and enjoy your lunch. We will resume the program shortly. Que disfruten.
Ask that dude. Does he have audio?
Well, welcome back to the 31st Annual Senior Inspiration Awards and Luncheon, where the Desert community celebrates its seniors. I hope you all enjoyed your lunch. Thumbs up? Yes? So let's thank the Cabazon Band of Cahuilla Indians and Fantasy Springs Resort Casino for hosting us this evening. Also, our staff that are working here is an absolutely delicious meal. So big round of applause.
Continuing the tradition of hosting the Senior Inspiration Awards is Riverside County Supervisor V. Manuel Perez. Please welcome our host, Supervisor Perez.
Thank you, Marco. Good morning, or is it now good afternoon, everyone? Buenas tardes. You know, it was mentioned earlier already that this is the 31st annual event, and I think it's impressive. It's amazing that we've had this event now for a few decades. And obviously, dating back to Supervisor Corky Larson, where it all began, and then continuing with Supervisor, Roy Wilson, and then continuing with John J. Benoit. And now I have the pleasure of making sure we continue this tradition, this historical event that, quite frankly, only happens here in the 4th District, throughout the county of Riverside. This does not occur anywhere else in the county of Riverside. And that says a lot about our district. And I'll get into that in a bit. But before that, I'd like to just also introduce Vito Larson is here. Vito, why don't you say hello to everybody? I don't know if you know who that is, but Vito Larson is Corky Larson's son. And mind you, I've known Vito for many years. Vito, I think, is a year older than I am. But, you know, he was out in the fields back in the day when my mother and my father were out in the fields as well. And I remember running around those fields when I was a kid and probably hanging out with Vito in those days as well. And those are great memories. I think that expresses quite a bit as to why we're here as well, and that is to achieve the American dream. And that's what's special about this event, is that we're here to celebrate individuals that believe in humanitarianism, that believe in volunteerism, and let all politics aside. No matter what side of the aisle we are on, no matter what issue that we're fighting about right now, let's put that away, and let's just make sure that we celebrate those individuals that we're here to celebrate for. And those are the individuals that are here that continuously volunteer on behalf of our communities to improve the quality of life of our constituents. And they deserve a round of applause. So let's give them a round of applause. I'd like to also thank Oscar Ortiz and Rita Lamb as the chair and vice chair for this year's awards. Thank you for doing so. Brooke Bear, who loves this event. She mentioned that to me the other day. Marco de Vuelta from Telemundo and KSQ. Muchas gracias, Marco.
Thank you.
And I mentioned my parents earlier, and they're here, Virginia and Manuel. They met in the fields. And we were just talking about some stories of the past and how my mother started working in the fields at 14 years old. And she worked in the fields for a total of 23 and worked for KK Larson for 18 years of those 23 years. And my mother used to pick grapes, and I think they used to call it a lead a cuadrilla, lead a section of the fields. And meantime, my father was a swamper. I don't know if you know what a swamper is or did, but it's hard work. That's why he's got big muscles right now. And that's because they used to pick up the box and toss it to the truck. Right, Dad? That's what he did. And he did that for a period of years. And that's how they met, in the fields doing that line of work. And my father apparently asked for my mother's hand in Lamont, I want to say, California, and found out that they were pregnant with me in Arvin, California, near Delano, when they were up there working those fields in the Central Valley. So obviously, Mom and Dad, you're special to me. You're the world to me. If it wasn't for you, I would not be here, right? And thank you so much for being here today. Now, I can't continue this without expressing, obviously, my gratitude, my thanks, my love for my wife, Gladys, who's here as well, and her mother, who is my suegra, my mother-in-law, Marta, who's here as well. An old-time friend of ours, Graciela Sanchez. Thank you for being here, Graciela. Appreciate you. My son, Ruben, is somewhere out here on behalf of Assemblymember Eduardo Garcia's office. He's here. Our other son, Alejandro, who's younger, he actually lives in San Francisco. He's working out there on renewable energy policy, foundation world of things of sorts, handing out grants. That's what he does, and he's up there. Aside from that, I just want to say another thank you once again to the Cabazon Band of Cahuilla Indians for sponsoring this event. I'm not sure if he's here, but Chairman Douglas Welmus, I want to thank you, as well as Alexis Luna, the liaison to the General Counsel, and Brenda Soulier, who's a member at large. Thank you so much. I think they deserve a round of applause. And we're fortunate to have our mayors and council members here, and they're going to be recognized a little later by Mayor Ortiz and Mayor Lamb, so stay tuned for that. On the federal and state level, we're going to provide certificates of recognition, and we have here Ben Miller, who's representing Congressman Ken Calvert, Sarah Hernandez, who's representing Congressman Raul Ruiz, Larissa de la Torre, who's representing State Senator Steve Padilla, Alex Sanchez, representing Senator Kelly Serrato, Michael Curry, representing Assemblymember Greg Wallace, and Assemblymember Eduardo Garcia's office sponsored a table. Representing Assemblymember Garcia is Kimberly Miranda, Kimberly Barraza, Ruben Perez, and Mr. Steve Brown. I want to thank all these individuals for being here as well and recognizing our volunteers, our seniors that inspire us every single day. Representing the College of the Desert are Bonnie Steppen, Chair of the Board of Trustees, Trustee Ruben Perez and B. Gonzalez, and Superintendent President Dr. Marta Garcia. Thank you for being here. From the Desert Healthcare District, we have Directors Leticia De Lara and Kimberly Barraza. Thank you as well. We also have a newly elected director on the Desert Recreation District Board, Natalia Gonzalez. Thank you for being here. Our Mission Springs Water District sponsored the table and is well represented today by Directors Russ Martin, Amber Duff, Ted Mayorfen, Robert Griffith, and our General Manager, Arden Wallam. We also have a couple of county departments that sponsor tables, Riverside County Office on Aging and the Riverside County Office of Economic Development, as well as our former Assembly member for the area, Assemblymember Brian Estandi. Now, there's quite a bit of folks to recognize here, so just be patient here, folks. We have Sandra Tung McCubry, Jared Katchmar, Barbara Perry, Luke Agosta, Bud Sidden Stricker, Dee Dee Dietrich, Melissa Myers, Christy Root, Sharon Nelson, Clementina Barragan, and Esmeralda Martinez. They're from the Office on Aging RSVP program. Thank you as well for being here and for sponsoring the event. My team, my staff that take the hits just like I do, that take the calls on an ongoing basis, on a daily basis, that go out into the communities and try to do everything they can to help support our communities. And that is the phenomenal fourth is what I call them. That's my Chief of Staff, Stephen Hernandez, Ms. Pat Cooper, Amy Quinn, Margarita Felix, Stephanie Virgen, Esmeralda Perez, Darren Shermer, and as well this year who took the lead, I want to say a special thank you and shout out to Alexis Perez. Thank you, Alexis, for the good work you did today. Now, when you walked in, you heard that lively jazz music, didn't you? So let's give it up and a shout out to Heatwave Show Band because they're awesome. We thought that'd be special. So in the 31 years of this event, we've had over 300 volunteers who have been awarded this Senior Inspiration Award. And if you are a past recipient, and I saw a few of you here, I know Taco is here. If you're a past recipient, Senior Inspiration Award, please stand up or raise your hand, by all means. There you go, look at that, raising their hands over there, standing up. Ricardo Loreto Taco, thank you. They're around us. Way back there, I see you. Thank you so much. And we should be inspired today because we are featuring and honoring 11 individuals. Individuals that come and provide services to our youth and our nonprofits, to our government structures, to our healthcare centers, you name it. And these are individuals that are educators themselves, or immigrants, or they come from a nonprofit world, or they're business professionals. And earlier, I was speaking with someone about the fact that we live in a beautiful valley. This region is awesome. And just think about it. People come here to retire, but they really don't come here to retire. They actually come here to do some more work, meaning they volunteer, and they don't care to get paid. And I met some great individuals over the course of years that consistently want to give back to the community, and we appreciate them as well. It also inspires us to help local organizations in any way we can. And I mentioned earlier Leticia de Lara. I want to give a special shout out to the RAP Foundation, who has donated $1,000 that each honoree will donate to a charity of their choice. The RAP Foundation has been a longtime supporter of this event, and this year has doubled the amount from $500 to now $1,000. So thank you, RAP Foundation, and thank you to the board, and thank you to the executive team of the RAP Foundation. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you, and let's continue to volunteer. Let's continue to inspire those that are coming after us. Let's do what we can to express ourselves in a way in which we're statesmen. Let's do what we can in which we do everything possible to demonstrate that we can be cordial with one another and that we care and that we want to give back. And although sometimes policy gets a little murky, I get it. I've been in it for over 20 years. I understand. But it doesn't mean that we have to be mean to each other. It doesn't mean that we have to yell at each other. It just means that we have to sit down and communicate and listen to each other. And that's what I ask for. I think that if we're able to do so, we're going to inspire many more people to give back to our communities. And thank you for that, because that's what we really need today. And volunteers, our seniors, thank you so much. You deserve the best. Now I believe RivCo TV has a video for you all. Thank you, bro.
Dependable.
Blessed. I'm truly blessed.
Active, very active.
It's very committed.
Pues sí, como trabajadora.
Que me llevo bien con todo.
I truly enjoy what I do.
The inspiration has been to share resources and information to enhance lives and to allow individuals in our community to progress. The inspiration is coming from the people themselves.
Since I 3 times cancer survivor, I learned that I have to have a goal over here, not just live over here.
I think by giving back to it, the community has given so much to me that this is my way of being able to give back to them.
Todo el tiempo no esperen solo recibir y recibir y recibir. No, hay que dar también.
Do everything you can to help others. Take a look at who you are, what you enjoy, and find people who enjoy the same kinds of things that you enjoy and work with them.
I think because working with volunteers we inspire each other to make it bigger, better, and we work to make the community and the charities we volunteer for stand out.
Helping the needed. That's my goal, as much as possible.
Pues sobre todo, digamos, los trataría lo mejor que pudiera y hacerlos que uno les hiciera alguna cosa que hicieron y que lo hicieran, y no, digamos, bien.
Have an open mind. Know what you want, but also know that there's other people that want, and you work with them.
Que tienen que no nomás recibir, sino también dar, repartir. No digamos dinero, pero sí tu tiempo.
And now if we could welcome to the stage Indio Mayor Oscar Ortiz and Cathedral City Mayor Rita Lamb. They are the chair and vice chair of the Senior Inspiration Awards Committee. Let's welcome them so that we can recognize our generous sponsors.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. It's great to see you all here today. You guys having a good time? Yeah? All right. First of all, I just wanted to thank all the organizers for this event, all the staff here working today, especially Supervisor Perez's office for all the great work they did to organize this event. Let's give them a round of applause again, please. So I'm Oscar Ortiz. I'm the mayor for the city of Indio. I'm happy to be chair of the Senior Inspiration Awards Committee and co-chair of this effort with Cathedral City Mayor Rita Lamb. At this point, may I please ask all the mayors and Supervisor Perez to please make your way to the stage with your honorees, please. As they make their way to the stage, we'd like to thank and acknowledge the sponsors, starting with our diamond sponsors. And we have 2 diamond sponsors this year. Our venue host and diamond sponsor, the Cabazon Band of Cahuilla Indians. And our diamond sponsor, the Regional Access Project Foundation.
Hi there, I am Rita Lamb, Mayor of Cathedral City. And before I get to read the name of these sponsors, I just wanted to say I was inspired by the jazz group coming in, and I wanted to just say this to you. Celebrate good times. Come on, let's hear it for our honorees today. And now I'm proud to name our sponsors. The gold sponsors are the Riverside County Office on Aging and Molina Healthcare. Silver sponsors, Desert Care Network, Wintech Energy Limited, Burtec, SoCal Gas, a Sempra Energy Utility, and the Agua Caliente Band of Cahuilla Indians.
And for our bronze sponsors, we have Best and Krieger, Brian Nestande from Nestande and Associates Government Affairs, Riverside County Foundation on Aging, Bulldog Cannabis. I believe they brought free samples of cannabis for all our honorees. No, just kidding. We have Hot Purple Energy and Carl's Jr.
The table sponsors, the County of Riverside and all 9 cities of the Coachella Valley, College of the Desert, California State University San Bernardino, Palm Desert Campus, yay, State Assemblyman Eduardo Garcia, Forest Lawn, Imperial Western Products, JRC Concrete Construction, Keystone HR, Luxury Pool Construction and Design, Mission Springs Water District, and the Riverside County Office of Economic Development. And we would like to give a special thank you to Nothing Bundt Cakes, who donated the cakes that are at each table. And we'd like to thank the Desert Sun, which donated ads for this event.
And we'd also like to thank our photographer, Lonnie Garfield, and the videographer team from RivCo TV, Roy Henderson, Pep Fernandez, Javier Santos, Robert Wells, and Jose Macias. This event would not be possible if it were not for the efforts of our dedicated members of the Senior Inspiration Awards Committee. For anybody from the committee, from the Senior Inspiration Awards Committee, could you please stand for recognition? Yeah, let's give them a round of applause, please.
We would like to recognize the cities of the Coachella Valley, which participate in honoring their senior volunteers each year. Thank you for your continued support of this great event. Many of our city government elected officials are also here today to celebrate their honorees. And will city council members in the audience please stand? Thank you all so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
At this time, we're excited to learn more about our inspiring honorees, and we'll hand it back to Brooke and Marco. Thank you.
All right, it's the moment we've been waiting for. We're going to meet and get to know this year's honoree. The elected official of the honoring city or county will present them with a beautiful award commemorating their selection as a Senior Inspiration Award honoree. And each honoree will also receive a $50 gift card and a swag bag with gifts from our local businesses, all these donated by the Friends of the Senior Inspiration Awards. The businesses that provided these gifts we would like to acknowledge as well. So thank you so much to the Indian Wells Golf Resort, 6th Street Coffee in Coachella, the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens, the Coachella Valley Firebirds, Palm Springs Air Museum, the Riverside County Office on Aging, and the Coachella Valley History Museum in Indio. And in addition, as Supervisor Perez mentioned, $1,000 will be donated to a local charity of the honoree's choice. This is courtesy of the Regional Access Project Foundation. This $1,000 donation is the Gene Benson Charitable Contribution. The RAP Foundation, if you don't know about it already, is a nonprofit organization that provides services in the areas of health, mental health, and juvenile intervention to residents of Eastern Riverside County. So thank you, RAP Foundation, for creating and funding the Gene Benson Charitable Contribution Program, which we mentioned they're doubling the donation, which was previously $500.
The 2023 honorees were chosen for their ongoing community involvement. All of them actively donate their time to their community. They are role models who, through their actions, inspire others to want to be active and involved and participate in their community. These unique individuals were selected in part for their outlook on life, which we will learn about next as we hear their stories. We'll start with the City of Cathedral City. Presenting the award for the City of Cathedral City is Mayor Rita Lam. The honoree is Joanne Kennan. Joanne was born in Maywood, California, and grew up all over the state. Joanne has always enjoyed being creative. She owned a small event and planning business. She has taken many classes in event planning and hospitality, which gave her skills she uses in her volunteering and fundraising efforts. Joanne began volunteering to help her best friend who had 2 children born with cystic fibrosis. She joined a club that held a small events to raise money for cystic fibrosis research and spent much of her time helping families that were dealing with this difficult disease. She also worked with the Los Angeles Dodgers team, who were very involved as supporters of this cause. Joanne currently volunteers for the Cathedral City of Evening Rotary Club, which works to build the community through activities and promoting reading in the elementary schools. Joanne volunteers and organizes events for the city and many nonprofits. These include the Fields of Valor, the Cathedral City North Pole Village, Sammy's International Meatball Festival, and events for the Desert Cancer Foundation. Coachella Valley Volunteers in Medicine, the SCRAP Gallery, and the Cathedral City Boys and Girls Club, just to name a few. Joanne has 2 sons, Brian and Scott, 2 granddaughters, Megan and Jennifer, and 1 precious great-grandson named Marcus. Congratulations.
Joanne, with so many charities and volunteer organizations where you give your time, we'd like to know, where will you be donating your $1,000 RAP Foundation check?
I'm going to be donating it to Scrap Gallery, which helps all the elementary schools here in the valley.
Congratulations. And congratulations to Scrap Gallery, too.
Our next honoree is from the city of Coachella, Javier Graciano Romero. Presenting the award is Mayor Steven Hernandez. Javier nació en Morelia, Michoacán, México. Desde temprana edad bailaba en la escuela. Cuando tenía 17 años iba a los bailes del barrio y aprendió a bailar. Un poco de todo, nunca recibió clases, él aprendió bailando. Javier llegó a los Estados Unidos en 1956 para trabajar en el programa Bracero. Durante su carrera, él trabajó en varios hoteles y en el mantenimiento de jardín. Después de muchos años, decidió retirarse en el 2011. Javier se unió al Centro para Personas Mayores de Coachella para disfrutar de las actividades, además de bailar con su esposa Anita. Javier, él comenzó a trabajar como voluntario en el centro, ayudando en todo lo que podía. Ha ido a entregar comestibles, a distribuir alimentos y ha llevado a personas a sus casas. Javier ha dado más de 1,000 horas en un año como voluntario en el centro y fue voluntario del año. Cuando el centro le entregó el reconocimiento, lo hicieron como una sorpresa. Durante la celebración de la posada navideña en el centro, la gente llegó bailando el baile de los viejitos, un baile folclórico tradicional de Michoacán. Durante este baile, los bailarines usan máscaras y no pudieron ser identificados. Al terminar el baile, se quitaron las máscaras y Javier se dio cuenta de que eran 4 de sus hijos cuando el centro lo sorprendió con el reconocimiento. En el 2017, Javier se convirtió en ciudadano estadounidense, lo que tuvo el mayor impacto y cambió su vida. Javier tiene 2 hijas y 11 hijos, además tiene un perro y 8 gatos. Javier disfruta mantener su jardín, cocinar y mantenerse al día con las noticias, visitar su ciudad natal, Morelia de vacaciones y, por supuesto, bailar. Felicidades. Javier was born in Morelia, Michoacán, Mexico. From an early age, he danced in school. When he was 17, he went to the neighborhood dances and learned to dance a bit of everything. He never took lessons, just learned it by doing it. Javier came to the U.S. in 1956 to work in the Bracero program. During his career, he worked at various hotels and in landscape maintenance. After many years, he decided to retire in 2011. Javier joined the Coachella Senior Center to enjoy the activities as well as dancing with his wife, Anita. He volunteered at the center, helping in any way he could, going down to deliver groceries, distribute food, and drive people to their houses. Javier has given over 1,000 hours in a year as a volunteer, and he is a past volunteer of the year. When the Senior Center presenting him the award, they did it with a surprise. During the center celebration of the Christmas Posada, people arrived dancing El Baile de los Viejitos, the dance of the old men, a traditional folk dance from Michoacán. During his dance, dancers wore masks that could not be identified. At the end of the dance, the masks were removed, and Javier saw it was 4 of his children, as the center surprised him with the award. In 2017, he became a U.S. citizen, which has made the greatest impact and changed his life. Javier has 2 daughters and 11 sons. He also has 1 dog and 8 cats. He enjoys maintaining his garden, cooking, keeping up with the news, visiting his hometown Morelia for vacation, and of course, dancing. Congratulations, felicidades.
I thought I would try and speak Spanish, but I would just embarrass Marco. So I'll try this in English, if we can, and you can translate. Where will you be making your donation, Javier?
¿A dónde piensa dar su donativo el día de hoy?
Oh, pues, el donativo que me van a dar, ay, pues lo voy a guardar para cuando esté viejito. Cuando esté más viejito.
Okay, ¿a una organización busca donársela?
Pues, posiblemente.
All right, he's still considering which organization he's going to donate to.
Muchas gracias and congratulations.
Presenting the award for the City of Desert Hot Springs honoree is Mayor Scott Matas. The city has selected Teresa Valencia Sanchez as its Senior Inspiration Award honoree this year. Teresa was born in Mexico City and was raised in Los Angeles, California. Teresa moved from Los Angeles to the Coachella Valley 40 years ago with her family. She had a career as a hairdresser. Now in retirement, Teresa enjoys her volunteer work with her church, St. Elizabeth of Hungary Catholic Church in Desert Hot Springs. Through its Social Concerns Committee, St. Elizabeth has a food pantry and outreach program that has provided groceries, clothing, and referral assistance for about 40 years of those in need. At St. Elizabeth, Teresa serves as a food director. The St. Elizabeth Food Pantry helps 250 to 300 individuals on a weekly basis. Teresa enjoys helping people not only with food, but with other life issues as well. Teresa is a 3-time cancer survivor. She credits her faith to her survival. She seeks to find the beauty in everybody and to bring hope by helping people in need. The biggest impact of Teresa's life has been the influence of her brother, Ruben Valencia. Teresa is blessed with 5 children, 4 girls, 1 boy, and 12 grandchildren. Congratulations, Teresa.
Congratulations, Teresa. Will you point out your table? Because I'm sure you have a huge cheering section. 2 different tables, so congratulations. Teresa, where will you be providing your $1,000 donation?
Oh, thank you. That would be good for the food pantry. It's going to help a lot of people.
Thank you. The food pantry.
Presenting the award for the City of Indian Wells is Mayor Donna Griffith. Indian Wells has elected Ginny Whitman. Ginny was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. Her father was a lawyer and spent much of his life helping everyone. He told Ginny she could be anything she wanted to be. After graduating law school, Ginny went on to be a successful career in the law. While in Ohio, Ginny got her start in volunteering. She helped mentor newly graduated attorneys and served on the board of a CASA organization to advocate for foster children. In 2015, Ginny and her husband Bruce moved to Indian Wells to enjoy retirement. Ginny soon after began looking for local organizations to volunteer at. She soon found the Ophelia Project, a mentoring program for junior high and high school females throughout the valley. Ginny is now in her 7th year as a mentor at La Quinta High School. What Ginny enjoys the most about volunteering with the Ophelia Project is providing these young ladies with tools they can use to become successful adults. She loves watching them grow and develop with all the program gives them. As they say in school, earn good grades and have a sense of what they want to do with their lives. Ginny often volunteers at Fine Food Bank and is involved with the City of Indian Wells, serving on committees and as a docent for the city's Modernism Week. Ginny and Bruce are the proud parents of 2 sons and a daughter-in-law. They also have a 4-year-old corgi, Rafa. Ginny loves the outdoors, fitness, tennis, golf, and hiking the beautiful trails. The desert keeps her full, and she's grateful for the opportunities it has given her to volunteer. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ginny. Why don't you step up a little bit closer here? I heard that you had a whole speech prepared about the Ophelia Project. That's a little joke. She didn't know quite what she was expecting today. Did you expect this many people here?
No, it's wonderful. And I would just say I love that this is a community that values and honors its volunteers. This is really wonderful. So appreciate it very much.
And so your $1,000 donation will be going to?
The Ophelia Project, for sure.
Thank you so much, Ginny.
This year's honoree chosen by the City of Indio is Silvia Tenorio. Presenting the award is Mayor Oscar Ortiz. Sylvia was born in San Francisco and lived in Rochester, New York during her early teens. Sylvia later settled back in California, making Moreno Valley her home for 20 years. She worked as a school bus driver and pursued a career in cosmetology. In 2004, she made a trip to the Coachella Valley to visit her friend and soon after made India her family's home. Being retired, Sylvia looked into ways to volunteer. Her first idea was to volunteer at one of the animal shelters, but she realized she would end up taking all the dogs home with her. When she needed a garage sale permit, she went to the senior center in Indio to purchase one, and that's where her journey began. Sylvia became a member of the Indio Senior Center in 2012, and in that same year became a volunteer. Wanting to make a difference, she joined the Board of Friends of the Indio Senior Center in 2016 and chaired the annual health fair. In 2018, Sylvia was elected president of Friends of the Indio Senior Center. Sylvia's love for the Indio Senior Center inspires her to do much more for her community. She joined the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce as an ambassador and Indio board member. Sylvia is also a member of the Alzheimer's Association Advisory Council. Sylvia is blessed with 2 sons, Evan and Derek, and her 3 dogs, all rescues, Layla, a Chihuahua mix, Chewy, a Maltese mix, and Shadow, a teacup Yorkie. Sylvia says she will continue to reach out to seniors, veterans, and communities. She's living her best life and knows we can make a difference one smile at a time. Congratulations.
Sylvia, does this take some of the heat off of fundraising for Friends of the Indio Senior Center, or are you going to be gifting your donations somewhere else?
Oh no, absolutely. Where my life started, like I say, where my journey started was the Indio Senior Center. Most certainly that's where it's going to go.
Well, thank you for your continuing work there and to so many other organizations in the Coachella Valley. Congratulations. The city of La Quinta has selected Ada Knuckles as their honoree, and presenting the award is Mayor Linda Evans. Ada was born in Maryland and grew up on a small dairy farm. Early on, she learned respect for the land and to value a connection to the land. Ada married, then moved across the country to Las Vegas, where they raised their two daughters, Dawn and Alicia. Ada worked as the office manager of an outpatient surgery center for over 35 years. Upon her husband's retirement, they moved to California and their home here in the Coachella Valley. Retired at age 66, she definitely did not actually retire because she tried something she had never done before in her life, which was she began hiking. She was hiking a lot, everywhere around the desert. And by the following year, she started volunteering for Friends of the Desert Mountains. For the last decade, Ada has studied the plants, animals, geology, cultural history, and the trails of our local mountains. She shares this knowledge to help people become stewards of the environment. As a hike leader, Ada leads people of all ages into the many trails in the Santa Rosa and San Jacinto Mountains and to other trails of the Coachella Valley. Partnering with the Coachella Valley Housing Coalition and SoCal Adapted Sports, her organization also brings children to experience nature and learn the importance of honoring the environment. Ada is driven and enjoys making things happen behind the scenes. In her 11 years of volunteering, she has completed over 10,000 volunteer hours with Friends of the Desert Mountains. In addition to local trails, Ada enjoys traveling to other beautiful places and spending time with her daughters and with her grandchildren.
Congratulations. Now, can you tell us where your donation will be going today?
Friends of the Desert Mountains.
Thank you so much, and congratulations once again.
The city of Palm Desert has selected Betty Baxter, and presenting the award is Palm Desert Mayor Pro Tem Karina Quintanilla. Education is Betty's lifelong pursuit and was and always will be Betty's profession. Originally from Texas, Betty received her Bachelor of Music degree at Southern Methodist University. She then achieved her Master of Arts, Master of Education, and doctoral degrees, all from Columbia University in New York City. Betty and her husband, Cash, have two children, Stephen and Catherine. She began her teaching career at Riverside Church Day School in New York. Betty's career eventually brought her to Palm Desert, where she was head of St. Margaret's Episcopal School. Locally, Betty dedicates many volunteer hours in 4 different areas: religion, business, education, and culture. At her church, she serves in various capacities, taking communion to people who can't attend service, including those who are recovering from illness in hospitals or at assisted living facilities. In business, Betty has been a chamber ambassador for the Palm Desert Area Chamber of Commerce since 2008. In education, Betty supports the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at CSUSB Palm Desert's campus, where seniors can attend classes on subjects of great interest to them. And lastly, in music, Betty helps young musicians develop their talents as a board member for the Palm Springs International Piano Competition. Looking back on a favorite memory, Betty just has too many to choose from. Her favorites include marrying and growing up with Cash. They've been married 63 years so far. They got married when they were 12. Just kidding. They had 2 children. She earned her doctorate. She celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary by traveling around the world with National Geographic. There's another story. And holding each of their 5 grandchildren and now their first great-grandchild, who is here with them today.
All right, Ms. Baxter, we want to hear from you. Who will you be contributing your donation to?
Well, as you can tell, I've been privileged to share my life with so many different organizations, and that's what I want to do with this wonderful gratuity. With St. Margaret's Episcopal School, Church, and with the Osher Lifelong Learning Program at Cal State San Bernardino Palm Desert Campus. We've got to make it Cal State Palm Desert one of these days, yes. With the Osher Lifelong Learning Program there, with the Waring International Piano Competition, which is now Palm Springs International Piano Competition, and of course with our beloved Chamber of Commerce.
That sounds great. Congratulations once again.
The City of Palm Springs has selected Evernell Black, and presenting the award is Mayor Grace Garner. Evernell was born and raised in the East Texas town of Carthage, Texas. As far back as she can remember, Evernell knew she wanted to be a school teacher. Living in a small town in the South during a time of segregation, there were not many opportunities for people of color, especially women. Teaching was one of the very few jobs available that would help make life better. Evernell attended Cal State LA and graduated in 1960 with a degree in elementary education. In 1963, she moved to Palm Springs and began her teaching career. She moved to the Desert Highland Gateway Estates neighborhood, where she has lived ever since. Evernell had a 35-year career in the teaching profession. She taught preschool and Head Start students. She then taught at Cathedral City Elementary School for 10 years and at Catherine Finchie Elementary School for 19 years, where she was named Teacher of the Year in 1987. During her career, she was proud to see her first graders continuing after high school to go to college, graduate, and come back to the desert to work in various professional careers. Evernell is a longtime volunteer for the Desert Highland Gateway Estates Community Action Association and Neighborhood Association. She also volunteers at the Agilon Baptist Church and the Palm Springs Black History Committee. Evernell enjoys seeing the progress of the Black community, and they continue to make some, and she shares this history locally and in Riverside County and even around the country. Evernell reads everything and anything. She is fascinated by history. She wants to visit Washington, D.C. again soon to see the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, which had not been built when she last visited a number of years ago. Evernell has 2 children, sons Evernell Black and Lakeith Black.
Thank you, Ms. Evernell, for all you do. Now we want to hear from you. Who will be receiving your donation?
Getting a donation. I don't know. I'll have to think. Maybe I'll give it to my church. Maybe I'll give it to my church.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Congratulations once again.
Got everyone thinking of here right now if they didn't already know. Our next honoree is Mary Lou Suter from Rancho Mirage, and here to present her with her award is Mayor Richard Kite. Mary Lou was born in Buffalo, New York. She married and moved to California, had 2 children, and earned her bachelor's degree in communications and public relations from Cal State Fullerton. While living overseas, she worked with others to improve the lives of people living in poverty and facing other critical needs. Returning to the U.S., she continued this focus to address similar needs in our country. Mary Lou's career was in the nonprofit sector. She was dedicated to serving infants, children, families, and seniors. She held hands-on positions, high management and director positions, and everything in between in both a voluntary and salaried basis. Mary Lou moved to Rancho Mirage to be closer to her children and to her grandchildren. However, living in the Coachella Valley had some challenges. And her focus turned to the need for disaster planning, especially in terms of preparing for a major earthquake and other disasters. Mary Lou volunteers with 2 disaster preparedness organizations as a commissioner for the Rancho Mirage Emergency Preparedness Commission and as an advisor to the board of the all-volunteer Coachella Valley Disaster Preparedness Network, CVDPN. Emergency preparedness is not her only passion, though. Mary Lou and her partner Marilyn often travel to the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Utah to volunteer there. Mary Lou and Marilyn also foster and help find loving homes for countless abandoned and neglected dogs throughout the Coachella Valley as their own personal mission. Mary Lou has 2 children, along with 6 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. She also has a dog, Avita, who is, of course, a rescue dog.
Congratulations. We want to hear from you. Who will be receiving your donation?
Before I tell you about the donation, where it will go, I wanted to first thank Supervisor Perez and his office and all the fine people who have helped us all get here today. It's just remarkable. And I wanted to thank all of you, especially all of you who are volunteers. How many of you are actually volunteers here? Yes, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. It's a great American trait. In the United States of America, we volunteer. When our community needs a hand, we give a hand. When our neighbors need a hand, we help them as well. It's pretty darn remarkable, and I'm proud of all of you. Now, I've volunteered for 2 different organizations. One is, of course, the City of Rancho Mirage, and our commission, we have 5 members and 2 advisors, and we provide information about mitigating your home for earthquake so that it doesn't ruin your home. We provide information about preparing for an earthquake, reacting when the earthquake occurs, and also how to recover from the earthquake or other natural disasters. So you could look at our website if you want more information about that. To me, and I apologize for doing a commercial, but to me it's not about me. It's about the mission that I serve. Also, I'm a volunteer for Coachella Valley Disaster Preparedness Network. That's a big phrase, CVDPN. And they're a relatively new nonprofit here in the valley, and they serve the entire valley, from Thermal and Salton Sea, all the way up to Desert Hot Springs, to Sky Valley, and all the cities in between, all the communities in between. And we do the same kind of work there at CVDPN, providing information about natural disasters and how to take care of yourselves despite the fact that they might occur. So because CVDPN, their tagline, as they call it, is no community left behind. No community left behind. So that means each and every community here that needs information about preparing for a disaster, taking care of yourselves, it's available to you at no cost. All you need to do is contact us and we can help you with that. We have a wonderful website as well, and those are listed in your booklet. So just thank you, and my donation will go to CVDPN because of their nonprofit status, and they're all volunteer run. Thank you.
A true public relations professional there knows when she has a microphone and a captive audience to take advantage.
Our next honorees have been selected by Supervisor V. Manuel Perez. The county honorees are William Bill Censo and Marta Gutierrez. We will first start out with Marta. Marta nació y creció en Tamazula, Jalisco, México. Cuando tenía 18 años, Marta visitó a su madre, quien vivía en Mexicali, México, con sus 2 hermanos. Ella conocería a su futuro esposo, Esteban, quien también estaba en Mexicali visitando a sus amigos, quienes resultaron ser los tíos de Marta. Fue amor a primera vista. Se miraron a los ojos y supieron que se amaban. Los tíos de Marta les impidieron hablar, pero cuando Esteban se iba, le hizo señas. de que regresaría a las 5 de la tarde ese día. Esteban llevó a sus tíos al cine y los dejó ahí mientras se reunía con Marta. Un año después, Marta y Esteban se casaron, son el primero y único amor del otro y están juntos hasta el día de hoy. Como recién casados en 1964, se mudaron a Thermal, donde vivía Esteban, formaron una familia de 4 hijos. Como recién casados en 1964, Marta trabajaba en los campos, siempre ayudaba a todos sus colegas. Marta vive en la comunidad de Oasis, ha sido voluntaria durante los últimos 15 años para las distribuciones de alimentos en la escuela primaria Oasis. A Marta le encanta retribuir y ayudar a las distribuciones de alimentos. Se siente afortunada de estar rodeada del amor de su esposo e hijos, a quienes considera la parte más importante de su vida. Marta was born and raised in Tamazula, Jalisco, Mexico. When she was 18, Marta made a visit to see her mother, who lived in Mexicali, Mexico, with her 2 brothers. She would meet her future husband, Esteban, who was also in Mexicali visiting his friends, who happened to be Marta's uncles. It was love at first sight. They looked in each other's eyes and knew they loved each other. Marta's uncles prevented them from talking, but as Esteban was leaving, he signaled to her that he would be back at 5 o'clock that day. Esteban took her uncles to the movies and left them there while he met with Marta. A year later, Marta and Esteban married. They are each other's first and only loves and are together to this day. A year later, as newlyweds, in 1964, they moved to Terma, where Esteban lived. They raised a family of 4 children. Marta worked in the fields. She always helped all her colleagues. Marta lives in the community of Oasis. She has been volunteering for the past 15 years for the food distributions at Oasis Elementary School. Marta loves giving back and assisting in food distribution. She feels lucky to be surrounded by the love of her husband and children, who she considers the most important part of her life. Felicidades a Marta. Y Marta, quisiéramos saber a quién va a dar su donación el día de hoy usted.
¿Cuál donación, oiga?
La donación que recibe por recibir ese premio, ese galardón.
Oh, no, pues San Youth Hospital. San Youth Hospital.
Felicidades, muy bien, muy buena causa.
And our final honoree is Bill Senso. Big cheering section for Bill, who was born in Santa Monica and grew up on LA's West Side. After graduating from high school, Bill attended USC. Pretty good school. I went there too. He spent years in the restaurant business. In 2000, Bill and his wife moved to the Coachella Valley and the community of Thousand Palms. Bill got involved as a volunteer with the local school and with the Cathedral City Youth League and Cathedral City Junior All-American Football League. Since 2011, Bill has been the executive director and president of the Thousand Palms Chamber of Commerce, where he promotes and supports the growing business community of Thousand Palms. He also serves on the Thousand Palms Community Council, where he works with Supervisor Perez's office, county departments, and local agencies to assist fellow community members and improve the area. He has seen changes such as the new Acrisure Arena that was built. Yes, it's technically in Thousand Palms, and the new projects and businesses all in that area. Bill considers his wife Elizabeth to be his rock. When Bill was 45, he had a major stroke that changed his and his family's whole lives. He was completely paralyzed on the right side and was in the hospital for 2 months. During that difficult time, Elizabeth worked full-time, took care of their 3 sons who were all young, and came to see Bill in the hospital. Bill learned to walk again and even learned to write left-handed, which was quite the life change. Bill is grateful for Elizabeth and everyone who helped them out, and for that reason, he gives back a lot to the community. Whenever people say they can't do something, Bill tells them not to give up, and he advises everyone to strive to do their best and never stop learning something new.
And Mr. Stenson, we would like to know a little bit more about who you're contributing your donation charity today.
Thank you. My charity is going to be the Unforgettable Foundation.
Thank you so much. Congratulations once again.
So let's give all of our 2023 Senior Inspiration Award honorees a huge hand. We want to thank our host, Supervisor Manuel Perez, and the cities of the Coachella Valley, the generous sponsors, and a very special thanks to my co-MC for the 2023 Senior Inspiration Awards, Marco Revuelta.
Thank you. Gracias, gracias. Well, before we close this year's activities, there is the question, what happens to the beautiful centerpieces? Well, whoever's birthday is closest to today can take home a centerpiece. The centerpieces were arranged by Aladdin's Florist, a local florist in Indio.
This concludes the event, but on behalf of the Senior Inspiration Awards Committee, we want to thank you all for coming, and we would ask that the mayors and Supervisor Perez please gather on stage for a big photo. Hope you all have a terrific rest of your afternoon and walk away inspired, as I know I have so many years now.
Que tengan buenas tardes. Gracias.
Again, mayors, come to the stage.